Welcome to the second part of our Scissor Wedge mini course. Today we're going to go over the mechanics of the Scissor Wedge itself. We have three different variations we're going to use. The first one is the reaping Scissor Wedge. The second one is the regular Scissor Wedge, and the third one is the stumping Scissor Wedge. You need to be able to combine those Scissor Wedges on a high level. If your position is good, you need to be able to switch between those. Okay? Each and every one of those has advantages and disadvantages, but we're not going to go over them today. It's just getting the mechanics straight and be able to combine them. That's why we're going to do them in a drill. It's not that you can't use them separately or drill them separately. It's just that it serves you really well if you can combine them right from the get-go. Okay, we're going to start with the reaping one. So if Phil turtles down now, the mechanics behind the reaping one is a block on the knee and an internal rotation on the hip by rotating the foot outwards. So I'm just going to block the knee and rotate his foot outwards. You see that his hip breaks to the ground. With the Scissor Wedge, I'm just going to do the same thing, just with my feet. We're going to start with the knee wedge. So we're going to put the front side knee wedge in deep. Then we're going to place the foot between his legs, pointing with the knee towards the sky. I'm going to show it with a seatbelt. Just be aware that your opponent will not give you this position for free. You need to fight for it. But it's just the easiest to learn the reaping Scissor Wedge mechanics. That's why we're going to start here. Just be aware that normally you need to fight for those positions. So this is the leg configuration. Be aware that I want to scoot my foot towards his ankle to have a longer lever to be able to break his hip down more easily. The more I am towards his knee, the less effective it will be. Okay, I'm going to use the seatbelt just as I said before because it's the easiest. Now I'm going to scoot towards his ankle and scrape his foot over the floor while falling to my hip. My knees are pointing to the sky. Okay, my knees are pinched as well, but my foot is rotated outwards a little bit. Just that I have control of his ankle again with the longer lever. If I'm here, Philip can straighten his leg more easily, which breaks the position a little bit. So if I'm here, I want to control his foot as well as possible. And it's not that easy for him to straighten his leg and destroy the angle. This is the reaping Scissor Wedge. So I said before, knees pinched, facing towards the sky with control over the ankle. If I want to switch to the regular Scissor Wedge, I'm just going to extract my seatbelt, frame his rib cage, and just going to walk a little bit to the side till I'm able to get my knee or calf rather over his knee. This is really important. If my knee and my calf are below his knee, he can straighten the leg and turn it towards me, which destroys my Scissor Wedge. So to come back, I need to be over his knee and I need to be able to pinch my knees and push my feet towards the floor. You can see that this pumping action manipulates his hip. It brings his hip up. This is the mechanic behind the Scissor Wedge itself. If my knees are pinched and my feet are towards the ground, Philip can't straighten his leg and turn the knee towards me. Right? Try that for a second, Philip. He can't break the position. Right? This is important. So, knees pinched, facing towards the sky, just like in the reaping Scissor Wedge, and my calf is above his knee. That's crucial. From here, I'm just going to frame his hip for a second. I'm going to point my knee outwards to get my foot in the crook of his knee. Now I can pinch my knees again. This is the stumping Scissor Wedge. It's the same thing. With pushing and pulling towards the ground, I can manipulate his hip. See that? This is the mechanic again. It's more or less the same thing, just that I'm now using my foot instead of my calf and the back of my leg, the hamstrings. Right? So it's more or less the same. If I try to get into the stumping Scissor Wedge just by pointing the knee towards me, it can be hard to get the foot in the crook of his knee. That's why I turn it out, because it's easier for most people to reach the knee pin.
But from here, I'm just gonna pinch them again. To end the drill, Philip is just gonna roll over his left shoulder towards his knees, and I'm gonna pull my foot in, and I'm just gonna forward heist back up. Just plant the foot in between his legs again, and now we can switch to the seatbelt again. Now from here, it's the same thing all over. Reaping scissor wedge. From here, I let go. I adjust the angle. From here, we have the regular scissor wedge, just frame his hip. Stomping scissor wedge. And from here, Philip's just gonna roll over his shoulder. I'm gonna extract my foot, heist up with him, and we're in the same position again. So now you are able to combine the scissor wedges and understand the mechanics behind them. If you don't understand the mechanics behind the scissor wedges, you can't control the position, which will ultimately lead to failure when you're trying to pummel into back control. So you need to be able to do the mechanics itself and combine them. And that's what we're trying to achieve with that drill. Do it without resistance, just get the mechanics straight and combine them, and it will make everything a lot easier.